welcome back. So today I have a video on a new product recently released, or I'm not even quite sure if it was released yet because I purchased these. These are the Lancome Juicy Shakers. Now I purchased these off of the Lancome website, but then once I posted it on Instagram, something happened and they weren't letting people add them to their bag anymore. So I don't know if they were like almost like on there like secretively and I just happened to stumble across it, but they let me purchase them and the order went through. So I know that they're going to be released soon. Now the way they describe these is taking like a pigmentation and their classic like juicy tube and kind of mixing it in one, and like a cocktail, which is hence why the packaging is like a martini shaker. You just like shake it up and you can get your like a cocktail shaker, you know, like get your perfect combination. Now these are all oils and pigments mixed together, so they do separate when you leave them. Let me try and find one that is, I don't know if you can tell, but like they do separate and you have to kind of shake them up. Now I did go ahead and purchase 8 different shades, and as you can see I did purchase a blue one. I was really curious about these because if you guys know, I like the YSL tint and oils a ton, and they came out with 20 of these. Now the price is way lower than the glossy stains, so I thought it would be a nice product to give a whirl. Now there are 20 different shades, and like I said, I purchased 8 and they all have a different scent that corresponds with the name of them, which I love. So the only problem with that is if you like a certain color but you don't like the scent associated with it, it kind of stinks. So far all the scents are extremely pleasant to me, and I love the idea of like whatever it's named as, that's the scent. I just think it's fun. It's not like a universal scent. It's just fun to have like a different lip product, take it out and it smells what the name is. So the way that they describe this is a seriously addictive lip oil with a pillowy soft cushion applicator for a delicious shot of color with a hint of shine. Shake it up with the latest innovation. Juicy Shakers bi-phase technology delivers the first pigmented oil with 2 distinct phases. The first phase is a transparent oil phase for a comfortable non-sticky shine. The second is the pigment phase for a shot of color. So it says the cocktail is a blend of nourishing oils that treat your lips. It has peach kernel oil, well-known emollient softens lips, sweet almond oil for conditioning, cranberry oil for antioxidant properties, rose oil for soothing, and apricot oil for hydrating. It also boasts that you can mix the colors together to create your own signature color. So the idea is you take it, you shake it up, and then you twist the cap so it twists off right here, and then it has this like pillowy top to it. So the pigment kind of, there's like a hole deep down in there. The pigment gets onto the sponge, and then you take the sponge and you kind of bounce it on your lips. This color is Berry in Love, and it's just, as you can see, like a really pretty berry shade. So you can layer these up, or you can just put on one layer. I had this one on when I first started the video, so this is like my second layer of this. I start out like in the center of my lips. What I do notice is the darker colors obviously give off a little bit more of a stain. These are not sticky at all. In fact, I wish they were a little bit more sticky, because when they kind of dry down, like it says, it almost has that addictive quality to it that kind of makes you want more of it. But because you're trying to almost keep your lips hydrated, I'm not saying it dries your lips out, but it's not, I don't find it as the most hydrating product I've ever had. I just wish it had like a little bit less of the oil consistency with just a little bit more tackiness. Now the shine dies down over time and then the color stays. So like I said, with the darker shades you are getting more of a pigmentation that's going to kind of give you that popsicle like lip look, which I do really like. Sometimes I like to do more of a stain down and then a lipstick color on top, because then I just find that once the lipstick wears off, like the stains there, and it kind of just creates some of like a nuder lipstick on top, just creates like a really nice like youthful look without piling a ton of products on. So I like to use stains in that aspect. Like I said, these aren't as shiny as I thought they would be with the oils, because the tint and oil from And the reason I'm comparing the YSL one is it's a very similar product as far as like an oil with a little bit of a staining quality. These obviously have more pigment in them just visually. The YSL ones, they almost like change the pigmentation, or the stain almost like changes on your body and it develops over time. The stain here kind of develops right away. So you're gonna get color payoff right away. You're gonna know exactly like what color it is right then and there. Now I hauled off and bought 8 of these, and like I said, they're $21 a piece. I do think that that's a decent price. You're getting 0.22 fluid ounces in here. I do think it's a good price. The packaging is nice. Like I said, I just wish that it was a little bit more tacky to kind of feel like it wasn't just gonna slip right off. And if you really are someone who likes that feeling of something on your lips, then I'm not quite sure if you're gonna love these, because it does keep you wanting to keep coming back for more. So if you're someone who doesn't want like bright pink lips at the end of the day, I don't know, it almost feels like it's addictive in that way, that you keep wanting to get your lips wet, because they don't, I'm not gonna say that my lips feel chapped, but they just don't feel as hydrated as I hoped with all of the oils that were included and supposed to have the benefits. It didn't necessarily leave my lips as hydrated feeling as the YSL tint and oils do, and I more feel like maybe that's because they have a little bit more tacky of a base. Definitely more shine. So these are a little bit less shine, like the shine wears off and it's really just a stain. So I'm just gonna go over the colors and show you guys. I'll probably put a few on my lips and build them up. So like I said, this one is the Berry in Love. And there is what the applicator looks like. This is a really pretty, like I said, really nice berry color. It's probably one of my favorites only because I feel like it's one of the most pigmented, and it has that really nice almost fuchsia berry shade to it. The shine, like I said, does wear off, but you can build these products up and get like a really nice popsicle-like look. This just smells like a really fresh set of raspberries almost. This shade is called Bohemian Raspberry, and it looks red in the tube, but this one is also like a really more of like a pinkish, a true raspberry color, and this smells like straight up raspberries. As you can see, these are very similar. This one has a little bit more of a brown undertone. This is a lot brighter of a berry raspberry color. Again, another very pigmented one. I personally think that these are great as stains and not necessarily as glosses that I would go to. So if I could change things up, I would get more of the brighter colors and less of the more neutral colors, but they do have 20 different options to choose from. This one smells really good, like sweet raspberries. This one is called Lemon Explosion, and it's more of like a corally pink color, and it does have some shimmer or sheen to it. This one doesn't necessarily show up as much. It's more of like a gloss with those, let me just shake it up a little bit. It's more of like a gloss with those sparkles in it, like a topper to whatever you're wearing. As you can see, it has a very sheer pinkish tint to it with those kind of pink sparklies to it. This is what the applicator looks like if you wanted to see like what the intensity would build up to be. The tip of the applicator is typically what the intensity can build up to be on your lips, and this one doesn't really have an intensity. It more just has that shimmer to it. This next one is Freedom of Peach, and this one smells super good, like peaches, like a fresh peach. And this is what the applicator looks like for the intensity of the color. I wore this one yesterday. I like it, but it didn't necessarily build up as dark as I wanted on the lips. You can see it gives a really nice peachy stain right there. I just thought that this one would, this one didn't have, it had more stain, but it didn't have as much gloss factor as some of the others did on the lips. This one is called Mangoes Wild, and it smells so good like mangoes. It's just a really pretty, almost reddish color. It's like a reddish coral color. I love this one, and I love the scent of it. It's going to be a really nice color to build up for a stain. I think this would be a color that a lot of different people would like because it has that pinkish to it, but it's almost like a corally pink color, like a deeper corally pink. This color is called Boom Meringue. So it's like, it's scent. This one smells like very sweet, like meringue pie. This is like a bubblegum almost color, but I like this because as a stain, I think it's a wearable pink shade. It doesn't build up as quite as intense as you would think it would, but this is just a very nice like baby pink shade. As you can see on the tip, what it would build up to be as the stain. But again, I would shy away if you are going to be making a purchase. If you do want to try these, I would shy away from the lighter colors. They just don't seem to give the pigmentation and the payoff, since these aren't necessarily that shiny for very long. If you're not even going to get the color payoff, then it's kind of not worth the purchase, in my opinion, because these aren't really that glossy. This one is Meli Melon, and when I say they aren't glossy, at least the gloss does not last for a very long time. Now this is more of like a corally bright melon shade. This one smells like watermelons. It smells so good, but as you can see, that doesn't really give very much of a stain. That is the Meli Melon, and even with this mid-tone shade color, this isn't quite as big of a stain as you would think. That was 2 layers that I built up. This next color is called Mint to Be, which is such a unique, interesting color. You would think this would be weird, but it's supposed to A, freshen your breath because it has a really nice minty scent to it, and B, it's supposed to make your teeth look whiter, and it doesn't show up on your lips as a mint color. It almost shows up more of like a purpley-ish or cool tone color. Just really nice for the center of the lips. Let me try and build it up. It almost has like a pink hue to it on the lips. It's not gonna show up right here, but it's more of just a gloss, breath freshener, a little touch up, and it makes your teeth look whiter. It gives your lips a hue. It doesn't obviously translate on my hand, but it gives your lips this really nice hue that makes your teeth look whiter. I have tried this one out because I was super curious about it, because I mean, what a conversation piece with having a blue lip product. But I did try this one out, and it just made my teeth look whiter, and it just gave an extra punch to the center of the lips. And I really like this one, and I think this is definitely one that I actually will keep in my purse. Okay, I'm actually gonna put a little of this boomerang color on, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Like I said, I had the raspberry shade on, but I wanted to just do a little bit. So I pooch it in the middle of my lips, and I like the applicator. The thing is, you're gonna have to dip back in several times to kind of get the coverage or build the product up. So it's not just one of those products you can pull out and just kind of go on like this. I don't even find you get much product when you do that. You almost have to pounce it on your lips like this, and that kind of builds the color and brings the color out. So that brought a little bit more color, a little bit more cool tone. Overall, what I will say is I think it's fun. I love that it has different scents. I wouldn't haul off and buy a ton of them. I would buy one and try it out, and I would typically buy a darker shade if I could recommend them to you. I like Berry in Love. I also like the Bohemian Raspberry. Another one that I like is Mango's Wild. I think these are shades that you're going to get more of that staining power, and really nice popsicle lips. And then that feeling of the oil, being able to kind of build it up. It's not like they feel bad on the lips, they do feel good, but you are going to need to reapply if you're someone who likes the feeling of a little bit more of a slicker lip. If you want the stain factor, that's why I recommend going for some of the darker shades, because if you're going to work in the morning, you can put this on your lips, go into work, and just touch up with gloss if you need to, or this is like a stain that will last all day. When I used them, they lasted all day on the lips, and the stain power lasted all day, but that was the darker shades. Now the lighter shades took a lot more building up and reapplying, and like I said, my lips almost started to get dried out at the end of the day from all the reapplying that I had to get to build up some of the lighter shades. I think these products also would be perfect for teens. They give a little bit of color and a nice bit of shine, not too overboard. Something that would be great if you have a daughter who is just starting to wear makeup, or you want to give her somewhat of a product, or if you're someone who wants to dip your toe into wearing a little bit more pigmented or brighter lips. These offer that ability to have like a nice stain where it's not too overpowering, and it doesn't like, it just looks a little bit more natural. It's a little bit more subtle, very work appropriate. So hopefully that helps to hear a little bit more information about these. I know I was really anxious and curious to try them, and really excited for the product to launch, just because it was something fun and different, and I like the fact you can shake it up. I think the applicator is nice and unique and fun. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.